Keir Starmer can't catch a break. Labour's leader has been ripped apart by none other than broadcaster Lizzie Cundy in a fiery rant that has sent shockwaves through political circles. Her accusations? Starmer is a leader who's full of lies, breaking promises to farmers, betraying pensioners, and now plotting an EU reset that critics say will sell out Britain's hard-fought sovereignty. But it's not just Cundy stirring the pot. Concerns are mounting from every corner of the political spectrum, with insiders questioning whether Starmer's leadership is sustainable as the backlash grows.
Lizzie Cundy, can we trust him? I mean, look, he's talking about free movement of people for young people, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but you don't have to do it as a thing. It shouldn't be a deal. And also going back, allowing them to fish wherever they like.
No, I don't trust him, Nana. I don't trust him one bit. And as my mum used to say when I used to go out with a boy, look at the track record. And I'm looking at his track record, which has been full of lies. Let's just go back to 2023 when he was at the NFU conference for the farmers, saying that he would support them and be there for them, and blaming the Tories for not planning and all this. And then look what he's done with the inheritance tax.
But he might not. I mean, he might say that he is actually supporting them in what he's doing.
Well, you saw them protesting. Do you really think that? I certainly don't. I know farmers who are in tears about what's happening to their livelihoods. Will be ruined.
He probably wouldn't call that a lie, though, would he? He'd probably just say that that is how he's supporting them.
Well, that is
he wasn't clear about how he was going to do it.
I don't know one farmer that thinks he's supporting them. And now we look at their national insurance changes. They said, you know, Rachel Reeves said she wouldn't do. She said it, and we heard her say it. And now they've done it. And that's affecting...
But again, they're arguing that those aren't working people. They're not raising taxes on working people. The national insurance is on the employer, not the employee.
No, I think we all know that that was very carefully said and cleverly by them saying working people. We're all working people, I'm sorry. Even the pensioners are working people. They've worked, and look what they've done to the pensioners. There's another one. So they're freezing this winter, and I think it's absolutely disgraceful what they're doing, and they're going back on every word. So, in your question, no, I don't trust him, Nana, one bit.
The clip has already gone viral, and Cundy's words are now being echoed by frustrated farmers, angry pensioners, and even former Labour voters who feel abandoned by a party they once supported. Lizzie didn't pull any punches, drawing on her mother's wisdom to make her point. When I used to go out with a boy, my mum would say, "Look at the track record." And Keir Starmer's track record is full of lies, she declared during her GB News appearance. The comments came amid renewed outrage over Labour's broken promises that now seem like empty words to the very people who believed in Starmer's vision. Farmers, who were promised support during a speech at the 2023 NFU conference, now feel completely betrayed. Let's just go back to 2023 when he stood there and told farmers he'd stand by them. And look at them now. They're in tears, said Cundy. The farming community's anger is palpable. Many blame Starmer for failing to offer meaningful protections for British agriculture, with small and medium-sized farms facing increasing financial pressures due to Labour's policies. Livelihoods that have been passed down through generations are now at risk, and farmers are speaking out about what they describe as Labour's empty rhetoric. One local farmer, who wished to remain anonymous, told reporters, "Keir Starmer came to us, shook our hands, looked us in the eye, and promised to have our backs." But where is he now? Nowhere. Cundy also turned her attention to pensioners who are enduring one of the harshest winters in recent memory. The pensioners worked all their lives for this, and now they're freezing this winter, she fumed. It's disgraceful. She accused Labour of playing clever word games by framing national insurance hikes as being for working people. Cundy argued that even pensioners should be considered working people after decades of contributing to the system. Labour's failure to protect the elderly during the cost of living crisis has sparked widespread anger, with many blaming the party's inability to deliver on its promises. But if you thought this scandal couldn't get worse, Labour's EU reset plans have added another layer of controversy. Starmer is reportedly gearing up to renegotiate the UK's post-Brexit relationship with Brussels, but leaked documents suggest that the European Union is preparing to demand significant concessions from Britain in return. Chief among these demands is a rollback of UK fishing rights, which would allow European boats to operate in British waters. This proposal has been met with outrage from fishing communities, who see it as a betrayal of Brexit and a move that undermines the sovereignty they fought so hard to regain. Mike Cohen, the chief executive officer of the National Federation of Fishermen's Organisations, described the EU's demands as a neo-colonial relationship that benefits European nations at Britain's expense. Foreign boats fish in the UK's territorial waters, just 6 miles from the coast, while we lose out, Cohen said, pointing out that French and Belgian trawlers are reaping the rewards of British marine resources. Environmental groups have also raised concerns, warning that reopening British waters to European fishermen could have devastating ecological consequences. Charles Clover, co-founder of the Blue Marine Foundation, called the EU's proposals absolutely outrageous and accused the bloc of seeking to trash UK marine protected areas for the benefit of French trawlers. Clover added, "This is a greedy mugging of the UK by EU fishing nations, ignoring their own commitments to protecting nature." And yet, Labour's supporters argue that the reset could bring long-term economic benefits by strengthening trade ties with Europe. Charles Grant, director of the Centre for European Reform, said, "Starmer's reset is going to require him to do some politically difficult things. But if he can negotiate a deal, it could pave the way for closer cooperation on energy, trade and security." Grant's comments, however, have done little to soothe the anger of voters who feel that Labour is selling out core British interests for short-term political gain. As Labour scrambles to defend its policies, the backlash has created an opportunity for its rivals to step into the spotlight. Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, is seizing the moment to position itself as the true defender of British sovereignty, and the party isn't short of financial backing. Nick Candy, a billionaire donor and former Tory supporter, has pledged a 7-figure sum to Reform's war chest and hinted that Elon Musk might also lend his support. Candy's comments have sent ripples through political circles, particularly his revelation that Musk is interested in helping reform UK within the boundaries of UK election laws. Candy's motivations are clear. He's disillusioned with both Labour and the Tories and believes Reform UK represents the best chance for meaningful change. In an interview, Candy lamented the state of Britain under its current leadership. "I'm ready to leave, but I said to Nigel, I'll give it one last go and help him raise all the money we need to turn this around." Candy also drew parallels to Donald Trump's grassroots campaign in the US, saying he wants to learn from Musk how to mobilise voters effectively. As Farage and Reform UK gear up for a massive campaign push, insiders are predicting a fierce battle for Britain's political soul. Labour's critics are already warning that Starmer's perceived weaknesses could leave him vulnerable to a political insurgency. Is Keir Starmer's leadership crumbling under the weight of his broken promises? Or can Labour spin this into a win? Stay tuned for more updates on this explosive story.